What is up, everybody? Welcome back to racingdudes.com. Welcome back to another one of our Kentucky Derby horse profiles. We're going through every horse to lead up to the 2026 Kentucky Derby. And with this video, let's talk about Fulleffort. By the way, what a year for Brad Cox. 3 out of the top 5 point earners towards the Kentucky Derby, all coming out of the Brad Cox barn. And this one, Fulleffort, is the one we'll talk about here. 7 starts overall, 3 first, 2 seconds, and a third. 3 starts this year, 1 first and 2 seconds. All right, let's get to the results here from this horse. And look, one that debuted at Ellis, and you know, we kind of don't really worry about debut races too much. You worry about what they're doing now, what they're doing around 2 turns. But 4th in a debut at Ellis, then 3rd in a maiden special weight, went to Kentucky Downs, broke the maiden there, and then went to Keeneland and won an allowance race, and that led up to going to Turfway to start the 2026 season. 2nd in a stakes, and then 2nd again in a stakes, the John Battaglia, before winning the Jeff Ruby Stakes. Now, was stretching out in distance in the Jeff Ruby after the 2 races there at Turfway leading up to it, where he just missed. He kind of closed late and just missed. Jeff Ruby, I thought, was a massive effort from this horse. I thought sat a little bit in a better position. Horse that does come from well out of it. I thought he sat a little bit better in the Jeff Ruby. Irad Ortiz was into riding that day. I thought he gave him a really good ride. And stark contrast was in that race. He made a nice move at the top of the stretch and looked like he was going to take over, and did take over before Fulleffort came and just zoomed right by him. Very, very impressive indeed there from Fulleffort. All right, let's go now to the pedigree here. Horses by Liam's Map out of an awesome, again, mare. So I think going a route of ground, not going to be a problem. Going 1.25 miles shouldn't be a problem based on the pedigree. Should be just fine. Let's talk about the running style. That could be a little bit more of a problem. He's really a little bit of a carbon copy of what we saw last year with the Brad Cox horse that was coming out of Turfway Park in Final Gambit. And what I mean by that is they drop well out of it, and they kind of drop back to last, and they hope the race kind of falls apart there, and they can kind of zoom up and get a piece of it. I think Fulleffort is a lot better horse than Final Gambit. I think Fulleffort is going to have a nice season, after the Kentucky Derby, but that doesn't mean necessarily that he's going to run 4th in the Derby like Final Gambit did. If you remember that day, Final Gambit wasn't even on the screen. He was so far back. That pace was very hot. Horses got very tired, and he was just full of run down the lane, and he just skipped up there and got 4th. I could see Fulleffort doing a similar thing. I also don't think he's going to be just completely off the screen. I think he's a little bit more speedy early. I mean, he's probably likely to be 18th, 19th, 20th, but I don't think he's going to be that far back as Final Gambit was last year. So, but running style, I mean, it's a little bit, advantageous for sure. Going to have to pass them all, and that's something that's, it's tough to do. There's no doubt about it. But if the pace is hot enough, it is going to set up very well for him. So the big thing here is we talk about the negative. Of course, the horse, we just don't know what he's going to do on the dirt. Pedigree-wise says he should be okay, but it is very interesting that he has never been on it. I think in the Brad Cox barn, if he thought he would really love the dirt and needed to get him on it, he would have got him on it by now, kept him at Turfway to run in those 3 synthetic races. I think, look, this horse looked very good on synthetic. He's looked pretty good on turf. I think he's a really nice horse. I'm 50-50 on whether he's going to really like the dirt. That could be the big problem. But again, drop back, make one run, maybe he'll be okay to kind of go up and hit the board. But the dirt is a big question mark. Like I said, pedigree says it'll be okay. 7 starts, never been on it, kind of tells me they're not sure on that part of it. But certainly a horse that I think has a ton of talent. So final verdict on Fulleffort. I wish we'd seen him once on the dirt. That is what it is, right? I think he has a ton of talent. I really do. I think he's going to be a really nice horse. I don't know that the Derby is going to be his best, foot forward. I think after the Derby, if they get back on the preferred surface, I think we could see this horse win a lot of big races. But I will say this, he's an underneath play for me. I'm going to have him underneath in all the trifectas and superfectas because, again, if the pace is there, which I think it's 50-50 this year, whether it's going to really be strong, but if horses get tired, he's going to pick them off. He really finishes his races full of run. And I think the Kentucky Derby, he'll be picking off horses down the lane. It's just a matter of how many he can get to. All right, guys, thanks everybody for watching this video. Hit that like button if you like it. Subscribe. You really like it. Want to get alert anytime we do videos like this. And most importantly, stay tuned to the channel for more Kentucky Derby news.